Behind the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire, beneath the gilded walls of palaces and the whispers of silk-draped corridors, lay a world of power, intrigue, and unthinkable secrets. The Ottoman Harem, a place often romanticized in art and legend, was anything but innocent. Within these walls, lives were manipulated, alliances were forged in silence, and survival came at a price few could imagine. Today, we uncover the dark truths hidden behind the veil. To outsiders, the harem appeared as a palace of luxury, silk cushions, golden lamps, and delicate music drifting through the air. But the reality was far grimmer. Women, often girls kidnapped from distant lands or sent as political pawns, lived in near isolation. The harem was a gilded prison. Their freedom was stripped away, their daily lives meticulously controlled by strict eunuch guards. The walls of beauty masked a system designed to contain, manipulate, and dominate. Central to the control of the harem were the eunuchs. Castrated men, entrusted with guarding the sultan's women, wielded immense power. They were feared, not for brute strength alone, but for their influence. Eunuchs controlled who could meet the sultan, who could rise in favor, and even who would survive the ruthless politics within the harem. To the women, they were both jailers and gatekeepers to power, a paradox that kept everyone in line. Life in the harem was a constant struggle for survival. Women competed fiercely for the sultan's attention, knowing that their status, and even their lives, depended on it. Jealousy and intrigue ran rampant. Historical accounts speak of women plotting the downfall of rivals, from poisoning meals to orchestrating public humiliations. These deadly rivalries were not mere gossip. They were calculated moves in a high-stakes game where one misstep could mean exile or death. Many of the women brought into the harem were not grown adults but children, chosen for their beauty, lineage, or political advantage. They were trained in languages, music, and etiquette, molded to fit the sultan's desires. But behind the training lay a harsh reality. These young girls were essentially pawns in a larger political game. Marriages, alliances, and even rivalries were dictated by the empire's strategic needs, often disregarding the girl's own will entirely. At the center of this intricate network of control was the sultan himself. His favor could elevate a woman to unimaginable wealth and influence, or condemn her to obscurity and suffering. Women who bore sons gained significant power, often becoming advisors behind the throne, while those who failed to impress were discarded. The harem was not just a home. It was a battlefield, and the sultan's desires dictated the fate of every woman inside. The harem was a world where every glance, every whisper, every secret could alter the course of history. But these shocking truths are only the beginning. Behind the closed doors, darker practices unfolded, secrets so sinister they were carefully hidden from even the most trusted courtiers. In the next chapter, we will reveal betrayals, forbidden romances, and rituals that shaped the empire's most powerful women. Stay with us as we continue to lift the veil on the Ottoman harem. While the harem was a place of control, it was also a stage for secret romances and forbidden alliances. Women, confined by rules and fear, often formed intimate relationships with each other, or with high-ranking officials, seeking comfort, influence, or power. These clandestine connections could bring temporary relief, but they were fraught with danger. Discovery often meant exile, punishment, or even death. In a world ruled by the sultan's absolute authority, love became a weapon as much as a refuge. The women of the harem were not just subjects of the sultan. They were practitioners of rituals steeped in superstition. Some carried out ceremonies to protect themselves from rivals, to attract favor, or to influence the sultan's moods. Fortune-telling, symbolic offerings, and secret potions were common, blending folklore with desperation. These rituals, however, carried immense risk. A failed attempt could provoke suspicion, punishments, or accusations of witchcraft, revealing just how precarious life within the harem truly was. Despite its confinement and secrecy, the harem was also a center of political power. Women who bore sons, especially the future sultan, became key advisors, managing palace affairs, and sometimes even influencing state decisions. The so-called Valide Sultan, the mother of the sultan, could wield unparalleled influence, controlling appointments, patronages, and even foreign diplomacy. What began as a prison for women transformed for some into a realm where they could subtly shape the empire itself. Behind the ornate walls, violence was never far. Rivalries sometimes erupted into brutal confrontations. Historical accounts reveal women secretly poisoned, starved, or manipulated to eliminate competition. Eunuchs enforced discipline ruthlessly, and even minor infractions could lead to harsh punishment. The luxury and splendor masked a constant undercurrent of fear, an environment where trust was a dangerous gamble, and survival required cunning, patience, and sometimes cruelty. The Ottoman harem, often idealized in paintings and stories, was a world of extremes: beauty and brutality, power and subjugation, loyalty and betrayal. Within its walls, women were prisoners, pawns, and occasionally, power brokers, navigating a labyrinth of intrigue that defined their fates and shaped the empire. The secrets we've uncovered today reveal a side of history that is rarely told, but one that cannot be ignored. Inside the Ottoman harem, beauty was a double-edged sword. Women were trained in music, poetry, and seduction, but their physical appearance determined much of their fate. Some concubines resorted to dangerous cosmetics made from lead, mercury, or crushed minerals to maintain a flawless image. Behind the veil of elegance lay a slow, silent poison, a sacrifice made in the pursuit of survival and power. The harem was not only guarded but controlled by eunuchs, men castrated at a young age, chosen for loyalty and obedience. They were the eyes and ears of the sultan, enforcing strict discipline within the gilded walls. Some wielded immense influence, acting as gatekeepers between the women and the outside world. Their whispers carried secrets to the throne, making them both feared and resented. Far from idle luxury, the harem functioned as a strict institution. Women were taught languages, calligraphy, court etiquette, and even politics. The most intelligent and ambitious could rise from servant to consort, from concubine to queen mother. For many, the harem was less a prison and more a ruthless academy, where only the most cunning could climb to the top. Perhaps the most dangerous gamble in the harem was childbirth. A concubine who bore a son gained immense status, while those who failed risked fading into obscurity. But bearing a prince was not only an honor, it placed both mother and child in mortal danger. Rival women schemed to eliminate heirs, turning nurseries into battlegrounds where the empire's future was quietly decided. To outsiders, the Ottoman harem symbolized luxury, mystery, and endless pleasure. Painters and travelers spread stories of silken chambers and exotic dances. But reality was far darker. For every woman who rose to power, countless others vanished into silence, forgotten names in the palace records. The grandeur of the harem was a veil, concealing the human struggles that defined its hidden world. History is not always what it seems. Behind the gilded walls of power lie stories of ambition, survival, and the human desire for control. The Ottoman harem was more than a symbol of luxury. It was a crucible of human drama. If you were shocked by these revelations, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so we can continue uncovering the hidden truths of history, one secret at a time.